This video is going to help you to interpret slope and y-intercept of a graph. And in order to interpret it, we need some labels on the side. Normally kids can find the y-intercept, they can find the slope, but they have a hard time explaining what it means in real-world context. So we're going to take a look at a few problems and see if we can't get a better understanding of what y-intercept and slope actually mean in terms of a problem. So I'm going to estimate, I'm not going to calculate these, I have a video on calculating them. But when I take a look at the slope here, I can see that it's positive. I can see that the scale is counting by tens and ones there, so I got to be aware of that. So when I pick a few points or draw a little slope triangle here, I can see that it's approximately going from 20 up to about 70. So I'm going to say that the change in y on my slope is about 50. And the change in x going over is by 1, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over, so we've got 50 over 5. So my slope is about 10. How do I now interpret it? Okay? Well, it's y over x, so it's 50 what? It's 50 test score, okay? So 50 points, I'll call it, right? 50% maybe. And then 5 homeworks completed. So 50 points per 5 homeworks. If I simplify that, that is 10 points per homework. All right, so when I really try to interpret this, it should be, since it's a positive slope, that I would get 10 more points or 10 additional points per homework completed. So the trend as to what's happening is the more homeworks that I complete, the higher the test score is. And when I start to analyze the number, it's 10 more points per each homework completed. For the second one, we're taking a look at temperature, we're taking a look at sales. Again, I can approximate the slope here, just pick a few here. I can see the change in y is going up 200, we'll call it. The change in x is per degree Celsius, and that would be per 2, 4, 6. So for 6 degrees, it's going up $200. Right? So when I have this, it doesn't mean when it's 6 degrees, I have $200. It means that I'm gaining more money as the temperature is going up. So what could I think of in real life? That I might gain more sales if the temperature is going up. If the temperature is going up, I might be having more sales in popsicles. Right? So if I need to divide that, I can divide that and figure out what that number is. But the slope is the more sales gained, gain being positive, more being positive, per each degree. If you really want to talk about that, it could be per each degree increased, if we're really talking about that positive, right? As the temperature is increasing, the sales are increasing. So I have positive on both of those things. If I take a look at the last one, I'm going to take a look at the annual income. And that's over here, so that's in money. And then we're talking about age over on this side again. Doesn't really matter where I'm at. I can find a few key spots. How is this increasing? How would I explain the slope? Whatever I calculate the slope to be, well, that is the more income or additional income, the y, per, and you can just write the word per, age increased or age gained or year increase, right? Your age is in years. So additional income per years gained or years increased. So we've got all of our slopes interpreted on all these problems. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back and I'm going to find what is the y-intercept on each of these. the y-intercept, if I interpret it, would be around here at 0, 10. And now I just go see what are the labels. The x was my homework's completed, so if I do 0 homework, then that means my 10 is my y, so then I'd get 10%. In general, I could say the y-intercept is the score I would get if I didn't complete any homework. We'll take a look at the next one. Again, we did slope already. We'll take a look at the y-intercept, which seems to be right around 0, 100. So, if the temperature is 0 degrees, I'll just call it temp, shorten it. If temperature is 0 degrees, then I would expect $100 in sales. Again, I don't even need to say the numbers. I could say the y-intercept is when the temperature is 0, I guess I want to say that number. When the temperature is 0, it's the amount of sales I would expect. Here's the last one. We already did slope. And I'll figure out my y-intercept. The y-intercept, somewhere over here, right, without explaining too many numbers, is when you have an age of 0, so when you are 0 for your x, when you are born, right, it's hard to be 0 years old. When you are 0, your annual income would be that amount. The y-intercept is, so when you are 0, the y-intercept is that much money or that much income. So there you go, without actually calculating or finding or identifying a number. That's how you interpret the y-intercept of a graph.